writers, and welcome to another edition of Bookish Chats. While I normally talk about bookish things on Bookish Chats, today is going to be a little bit different because I was contacted by an app creator to review their app called Penned App. Penned App was created for readers and writers alike, where you can go and post your stories and read the stories, make comments and reviews and all of that fun stuff and get to know one another, and it is available through an app compared to through a website. So what I have here is my husband's iPad because I do not own any type of device, and right there is the app Pen. So if you click on the app, it uploads into, is that upside down? No, it's not. Okay, so it uploads into the app, and as you can see, there's a bunch of different topics that you can choose from, and this is very glary, and I apologize. I'm not used to reviewing technology stuff. So you can see that there's a whole bunch of different topics that you can go and post your stuff into. So we're going to click on Doctor Who, and there's nothing there, of course, so we're going to go back, and embarrassment. Okay, so as you can see, there's embarrassment, and then you can click on there, and you can see that there's the story, and this is so glary, I am so sorry, but as you can see, there is a story there. So that is basically what the app looks like, and now I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons, because like all good things, there is a good side and a bad side. I'm going to begin with the cons because I don't want to end on a negative note, so we're going to end on a good note. So let's get into some of those cons. The biggest con for me is the mere fact that this app really only seems available on iProducts, so the iPad, the iPhone. I don't know any other iProducts. I'm not an Apple person. I have an iPod, but yeah, it's like the first one they ever created. So I'm not really a big Apple person. Talking with the creator, at least I believe she is the creator, she's like a co-creator, they did say that they are looking to branch into Android products. I, however, do not own an Android either, so I don't know if it is up on Android, but take a look, let me know. With that though, I am unable to access this app, and for someone like me who prefers writing on a laptop, or I have a Surface at the moment, a Surface 2, which is basically like a laptop. It's got Windows built into it, but it's a tablet, so it's a lot easier to carry around. And I have looked for this app in my Surface market where it is unavailable, or it just doesn't recognize it. It doesn't exist in this market. So that is the biggest downfall to me as personally a writer, because well, I don't have anything I can use to put my stuff up on it. I could, yes, put my stuff on my husband's iPad and then upload it onto there through his iPad. But that would mean having to use up his storage space to do that, and then just lots of switching with flash drive. The next con for me is writing wise, and I believe any writers out there would agree with me on this. If you do not own an iPad and you just have an iPhone where you can, yes, download this app happily and read these stories, putting your stuff up through an iPhone must be just infuriating. I mean, I have enough issues with the BlackBerry or my Surface, trying to use my finger to get, I don't like touch screen things, and I have problems, I know this, but touch screen things, and when you have a phone, the screen's even smaller, so you're pushing wrong buttons. And who wants to sit there and type up a story on a phone? Has anyone tried that yet? Because that would just, I commend you for that if you have done that. The next con is going to deal with layout, but still deal with the tablet type of thing, because in our world, we are very used to, seeing something like this, and then you turn it sideways, and bam, it switches. With the Penned app, nothing. It does not move. You have to read everything like this, and if you click on stories, it stays like that, but you can't, turn it to the side and have it stand up, and you can just sit there and scroll. You have to hold it and scroll yourself, and that is not fun. I know I'm a technophobe, and There are certain things I've become accustomed to, and that is flipping things around because it is cool. I have 2 more cons to get through, and the next one deals with the fact that although I went into the iApp store, whatever that is called, I went in there searching for this app and it could not find it. I had to go to their website to download this app, and that is going to be very standoffish alone, that you cannot go into the marketplace and search for this app and just be like, there it is, and then hit it and it downloads for you. You actually have to go searching for it. The last and final con to this is that. Not the colors, because I really like the colors, but I'll get into that later. But the mere fact that it just goes on and on and on. Those were just letters. But look at that, it just goes on, and we're back to letters. So those are the topics for these stories that you can write your stories into. And as not only a writer, but a reader, that's off-putting because it's a lot to look at, and you don't know where to begin. And yes, they have a search bar. You cannot see it, God. But there is a search bar there. And yes, you can search for your stuff, so that makes it a little bit easier. But having that many topics in one small space and not knowing where to begin, it's mind-boggling, and I don't like that. So with the cons, I'm going to go over my personal preferences with it and how I think that maybe they should be able to fix it, because they did say that they were going to come and look at this review, and I hope you guys don't take my criticism too harsh, but it's just ways that I think you can better the app, and I'm really hoping it works for you. So the first con, where I said it was only available to iProducts, and they did say they would start looking into getting it into Android. Again, I don't know if it's there, but if it is, good. I would like to see it more open to other places like the Surface. That would be really handy for me because I could download it onto my Surface. I wouldn't have to swap things around in order to put up stories. I, however, do not know how exactly apps work or how to create an app, so there might be like some kind of system you have to go through, but hopefully this is something you guys will look into the future of doing, of branching off into other types of products, because there's a lot of of these app things and these tablets that you can look into and just have your penned app everywhere, and it would branch off and you would have a lot more people there. That is pretty much the same thing with the second con, is the fact that I don't really want to use a phone in order to upload things. It's fine to read on, but to actually have to sit there and upload and type out a story, that's not very, comforting to know. I really think it would be a much better app product for tablets specifically. And while yes, you can use it on your phone, you can read these stories, but I think the main group of people you want to be aiming for is in fact tablet users. The con about the layout, I again do not create apps. I don't know how it works, or if there's like certain things you can do and you can't do. But what I personally would like to see is genre list first, compared to just a whole big topic thing, because the topics looks more like a forum than an actual genre list. There are a lot of repeated topics on here. Like I've seen like 4 poetries, like 10 fan fictions, and how-tos, and comments, and movie reviews. There's a lot of repeated topics going, and I believe that if you condensed it down to genres first, where you would have poetry, novels, novellas, short stories, opinions, fan fictions, and all of that, it would be much easier to ease someone in who hasn't used this app before, let them know where they want to go, what they're looking for, and it would be a hell of a lot easier to find compared to scrolling through mounds and mounds of topics. If they do branch off into the genre aspect, I'm really hoping that they would do like subcategories. So if you clicked on, say, fan fiction, you would have the fan fictions, and then you'd have like Harry Potter fan fiction, Hunger Games fan fiction, Twilight fan fiction, yada yada yada. It makes it a lot easier to find what you are looking for compared to, searching endlessly. So that is it for my cons. Nothing too troubling, nothing that really makes me not want to download this app, except for the fact I can't download this app. My husband could, but I cannot. So I'm going to talk about the pros of this app because I really do enjoy this app. I love anything that promotes reading and writing, especially in this kind of generation where everything is so technological, and I'm an old school person. I like my books. So the main thing I really like about the app is the colors. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but there are fun colors. It's like a sunset in the background, and while I did say that it is hard to find what you are looking for in this topic thing, there are two colors that designate between fiction and nonfiction. You guys probably cannot see it, but the green is the nonfiction or truth as they call it, and the purple is the fiction bit, so that does make it a little bit easier on the reader. The colors are not hard on the eyes. It's not too bright, it's not too dark. I'm not squinting to look at anything, and if you do, oh, I'm not clicking on adult content, go back. If you click on some of the stories, it's just white, normal things. So if you guys do have like an e-reader like the Nook or the Kindle Fire or I have a Kobo, it's just like one of those. It's nothing too hard on the eyes. While we're in this story, as you can see, people can leave you comments, they can leave you reviews, and I'm all for constructive criticism and helping people, better the writing or let them know what you liked about a story and, build them up and make everything better. There's this little megaphone right there, as you can see, and if you click it, as you can see, you can share it on Facebook, you can tweet about it, you can email it, you can favorite it, and you can flag it. Now, some of these do concern me, and I did tinker with a little bit of them to make sure my concerns were not justified and that, they did take care of the problem if there was a problem, which there wasn't. That's always a good thing. Sharing on Facebook and Twitter, fine, I love that idea, but to email the story to somebody, that did throw me off as a writer myself. I don't want people sharing my work around where it is easily accessible and they can copy and paste it. So that threw me off, and I did have to click it, and if you do click it, as you can see, it just loads up and there is a link there that you have to follow. So it's not like you can copy and paste anything. So that is a very good sign. As for the flagging, I don't know what would happen if you flag someone. I'm not going to flag someone for no apparent reason to find out. That seems a little cruel. So I'm not exactly sure what happens or what the grounds are for flagging people because I do not remember getting a little spiel before, I went into all of the stuff. So maybe there are rules, maybe there's not rules. I'm not exactly sure. I also like the fact that everything you need is just very easy here on the bottom. You have a little back button. This is where it takes you back to this main page with all of the topics. That is how you would create a new story, and it's like a little quill. For those of you who are writing and do post stories up, there is like a little stat thing and then your profile. So that makes it very easy to access, and you can see how you're doing compared to some of the websites I have been on where I still don't even know what I'm doing on there. I don't know how to write comments or look at my comments. So I really like that aspect of it, that it's there, it's easy, it's fun to use, and if I honestly had an iProduct, I would join up on it, but seeing how this is my husband's iPad, I will not be doing so, and I'm really hoping that if they do get a Surface app for it, I will download it and happily use it. So that is my review on Penned app. If you guys have an iProduct or Android, if it is up on Android yet, do download it, especially if you love reading work that hasn't been published by aspiring authors or people who just really enjoy writing. Do go download this app and help a fellow writer out. The app is free, so you don't have to worry about having to pay for anything. So that's always like little brownie points. And I will post the link below for those of you who cannot find it in the iPad store, so that way you can go and download it yourselves if you are really wanting to get it. I do recommend it. It is a fun little app. It's nice to have. It doesn't take up too much space from what I've noticed on a product. So go download it, enjoy it. And until then, you guys, bye!